Hey, welcome to the show today. Uh, you go look up in the corner here on the left hand side of your screen. You're gonna see a little spot up there and everything. It's not blank, but it's got a design up in there with a guest we supposed to be having on the show. Mr. Lawson has. We asked him to come on our show. He's a advocate for Facebook, and he does a lot of political telecasts on Facebook. So we invited him on our show because we wanted to understand about why he was supporting Donald Trump. So maybe he'll show up later on in the show and we'll bring him on. But if he doesn't, then we're going to keep on going with our show. But we won't have a Saturday show, people. I just found out that my co-host here, Mr. Harvey, and his wife, Miss Beverly, used to be Taylor, is 50 years. They celebrating a golden anniversary on Saturday. I got to pat my man on the back because 50 years of being with one woman. Oh man, that's something to be celebrated. 50 years of being married to one person. And Mr. Harvey said he is faithful, and he's been faithful for 50 years.
Any shame about it.
He said before he tied that knot, he was a rolling stone.
Rolling stone, bro.
Papa was a rolling stone.
Rolling stone. That guy didn't make no
Wherever
babies.
he laid his hat was his home.
Didn't make no babies.
So he's gonna be celebrating the milestones, people. So we're gonna be missing our Saturday show, but all I can say to him, man, happy anniversary. 50 years.
Appreciate
Man,
it.
that's a half a century. I don't believe that after his 10th year of marriage, he thought he was going to be celebrating 50 years.
And that is the truth. Ooh, the first 10 years was rough, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh. But I guess after a while, they just become a habit. Habit you can't break.
Yeah.
And like the old boy in the blues show, it's cheaper to keep her then. It's cheaper to keep her. Oh man. So man, happy anniversary, Ted.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start out, I guess, and man,
we was expecting Mr. Lotson because he's an avid MAGA supporter. I don't know if he's a MAGA, but he's definitely a Trump supporter, and he's definitely against the DMs, the Democrats, and there are a lot of black males that are against the Democrats because a lot of it is because, number one, they are against abortion. Number two, they are definitely don't want to see a woman in charge. That's just my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm listening to these people, and it sounds like a woman can't do the job and blah, blah, blah. They like alpha males. They thought Biden was too weak. Obama was too weak. And they don't realize that the president really don't have a lot of power. And they can do a lot of things, but Congress is the one do the power.
Mm-hmm.
They crying about reparations. Well, you ain't gonna never get reparations unless you put the right people in office that's for reparations. That means you should be putting people to run for office who's for reparations. And I'm for reparations myself because, you know, I'm a fifth generation, maybe probably longer than that, you know, American. I can only go down 5 generations. But what I'm saying is that when I look at the different parties, Ed, and we know that black folks in the 1865, when we had emancipation and were freed, it was the Republicans. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln freed the enslaved people. And we supported him and any other Republican up until the 1950s, 60s. So when we found out that when JFK was for civil rights and voting rights and housing rights and all of those types of things, a lot of us switched over to Democrat. And then even more so when Johnson came in, and he's the one that implemented all those laws that really shouldn't have to even be done because we're all Americans, but because of that, you know, they had to make laws for housing discrimination, educational discrimination, all of those things. Even though the Board of Education, you know, in 1954 and 1955. So most of us who were astute started voting for Democrats. Don't mean that they was for us 100%, but there were laws where black folks can go move wherever they want to. And many, many stories transpired when black folks tried to move in certain areas of Chicago and different places all over the country. Many, many stories was done on black folks trying to go to certain schools. So now we vote Democratic because that's our best interest. Don't mean that they're doing everything right and they're doing a lot of stuff for black folks. But a lot of stuff, you know, you don't need political power. That's my opinion. You need money power. And there's a lot of people that got money that's not using it correctly, in my opinion. But at the same time, we look at the different houses. Mostly black folks are in the Democratic Party. And they're doing what they can do. So when I see those types of situations, I'm going to vote my best interest because the fact is that we, as a race of people, and I'm talking about people that has been here for hundreds of years, have to vote for our best interests. There are people that come from other countries that have the same skin color they playing the game with these mega people. They didn't go through what a lot of our parents and grandparents and great parents went through. They don't understand the struggle. Even though Ed, you and I didn't live through it, we had some bigotry and racism and stuff like that, but we didn't go through all that crap that our parents and grandparents and great grandparents went through. We lived a pretty good life, and I'm not complaining. But the bottom line is that a lot of people fought for our rights, and we enjoyed those rights. To a large degree, we enjoyed those rights. And some of us went to college because of it. The doors were open. So, and it looks like to me, the case is closed. And you ain't got to be no magic Negro to be successful. You can be an average guy and be fairly successful. If you want to be a millionaire, you can be a millionaire. If you want to be just make a living and do a good job, take care of your family, you can do that. And that's the way it's been. So, and that's all most people want. I mean, everybody don't want to be I'm not saying they don't want to be a millionaire, but everybody wants to be able to make a decent living so they can take care of their family if they decide to have a family. So people that vote for the Republican side, I wouldn't call them Republicans now, they're a cult now. That's my opinion. So let them be. I mean, that's what they are. A lot of them are racist. Some of them are not. But we know that their head leader is a racist. Don't mean he hate black people, but he's a racist.
Well, Ted, you covered a lot of territory, man. You're from 1865 to 1950s and 1968 up until 2024, 2022 or whatever. That was a lot of territory you covered there, and you kind of took a very, very short narrative and stuff there because,
My cliff
man,
note.
yeah, because during all those years, man, there were a lot of incidents that caused what you just brought down into a little narrow area. There was a lot of things that happened, everything to cause that. Because when you spoke about Abraham Lincoln and him freeing the slaves, well, I I think, well, I'm pretty sure Abraham Lincoln, according to history, didn't have a choice. He had to
Right.
free him. He didn't have a choice at all. Even though he was a Republican, he did not have a choice.
That's right.
When we came to the 1950s and stuff, and Eisenhower became the president from being the hero and stuff there for World War II.
And agree.
He didn't all the things that he did. He didn't have a choice. He had to
That's
get
right.
those things and stuff done. In 1968, when you talk about Johnson, man, Johnson, he labored over that decision to pass the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. He labored hard over that. And he knew that him being from Texas, a Southerner, that they were going to lose the South by that vote they had, because there were so many people below the Mason-Dixon line and everything who were Democrats, Dixiecrats, as they call them, did not want that. They were united in not passing those Voting Rights Act because they were dead set in keeping their black folks, their Negroes in the South, excuse my French, enslaved. They did not want them to have a vote. They didn't want to have anything because they wanted to keep them enslaved here in the South. So, but he didn't have a choice because, again, like Abraham Lincoln, he had to do it because his party was the Republicans and stuff who were up there who were pushing for all this stuff to happen because of what was going on with Dr. King and everybody there in the South. They had to get it done because the world was watching them. They had to do something. You can't go out and preach democracy if your own people aren't able to vote. They didn't have a choice.
It was a form of apartheid, bro.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the whole thing, you know. We're supposed to be about freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a group of people in the South, because there were people in the North that were voting,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in office.
Uh, Dr. King and his movement, nonviolent movement, had put the United States on Front Street in every newspaper in the world. And he didn't have a choice but to do it because, like I said, they were preaching against communism and trying to put democracy out there. You can't do that. That's being two-faced. And I'm going now back to the Democratic Party and stuff right now. I don't know if any of our audience, I'm pretty sure that some of you guys in the audience stuff saw the convention that's going on there in Chicago. And I guarantee you, if you compare the Republican convention in Milwaukee, which is 90 miles north of Chicago, that happened last month, and what's going on in the Democratic Party, it is a totally different view. And we as people of color now identify with the Democratic Party and stuff because of what they are doing. They are including all those people out there that are part of this country. They're including the Asian, they're including the Muslims. If you look in the audience, there were people of all nationalities, all kinds of races out there in that audience. As them cameras span that audience, but it was a microcosm and stuff of this country right now. And that's a very, very powerful thing and stuff that most of the people who were speakers and everything spoke about when they got on that stage. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm counting this stuff right, most of the people up there with power and stuff with the Democratic Party were people of color.
Yep.
Most of your speakers were people of color who very powerful out there in the Democratic Party. And there were white folks there, but a majority of the folks there were people of color.
And
So
that's the whole key, Ed,
yeah, that's the key. That's the
because
key
it's
to that whole thing.
shared responsibility,
Ability,
a collective of people,
people from
and you
all over this
discuss.
country, from
Yeah,
all over this
all over the
country.
country.
You got gays, you got LGBTQ people all out there in the audience. You got black women, you got white women, you got old, you got young. All of them were out there in that audience, which is the impetus, I guess, and why we are so democratic. Because this is a party that has included us. Whereas you go to the other side, their party has not included us. They take a few of us in there, but they don't want too many now. There ain't too many of us over there in any kind of power at all. And
they have different races, but like you just said,
yeah,
they only got a few.
they only got a few. And you see, man, it was so disgraceful. And oh man, when I saw this and stuff and everything, even the white media commented about this. They have a senator, U.S. senator, black from South Carolina, and he is so Trump. He gets on stage and tells him, "Trump, you my man." And Trump looks back at him like he is a piece of dirt. How can you sit there and be a black person and see that happen to a United States senator? What he just did to that black man. It is unbelievable. There is no way that I can sit there and follow somebody that I know who looks down on me because of my skin color, and I'm going to follow them. It is horrible. So, there's you guys watching this show, and the screen is sitting there. I still got that blank spot over there with Mr. Lawson on there, who was a devout MAGA person and stuff and everything. But let me tell you about the gentleman that we were trying to bring on. First of all, Mr. Lawson, I'm going to take part of responsibility for you not being here on this show right now because the show is being produced on the East Coast. Mr. Lawson lives in Arizona. Now, we can bring people from Arizona and bring them on the show. It's a very easy process. But the time he's supposed to have been on it was 7 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure when I sent that email to him and said, 7 o'clock, we're going to start, he's thinking probably 7 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm sorry, Sherman. We're going to still give you a chance to come on the show the next time. It probably won't be until next Tuesday, but we're going to give you a chance to come back on the show. Now, the gentleman that is supposed to be on this show is a very good friend of ours. We've been knowing Mr. Lawson for, 60 years maybe? He's a childhood classmate
Over
of us.
60, over 60 years.
Yeah, he's a childhood classmate of us. And it seems very, very, very strange that he came from where we all came from, one of the poorest communities in Illinois, almost as poor as East St. Louis. If anybody know about East St. Louis, they can look at the town that we came, but Hopkins Park, Pembroke, Illinois, and we were poor. I'm telling you, we were dirt poor out there in the area. And that's where Sherman came from with us. We went to the same school together. We studied out of the same books together. We had the same teachers. We had parents and stuff who knew each other. So I'm just curious as to what made Mr. Lawson, who came from the only Democratic stronghold in Kankakee County, and turned him into a MAGA person. And I just want to hear what he has to say. I want our audience to hear what he has to say. So we're going to invite him back on again. We are. And I am very, very curious to understand why he wants to pursue Donald Trump and vote for him and tell other people that he is a devout Trump person. He wants him back in power. After all he has done, I've been watching every now and then. I watched some of the folks and stuff up there who were giving a speech. Yesterday, the House Minority Leader got up
Ooh,
on the stage.
he was fired. He was fired.
He started out kind of slow. I was looking at him. He was but he got to a point. And it's embedded in my mind. he, he, he said, "You, Trump, is like a boyfriend." He's like a boyfriend that we done divorced. We done cut ties and stuff with him. But for 4 years, he been riding around the house, the White House, trying to get in, trying to get back in. That was one of the perfect analogies of what's going on. He described that yellow orange-haired rascal.
Well, that was a perfect analogy.
It was a perfect analogy.
Because the first thing you come in your mind, have I ever been one of those people? No, I have never been one of those people.
Yeah. He's still riding with his girlfriend and left alone and told me to go ahead home, and he's still coming back.
She got a new boyfriend now, bro.
Yeah, she got a new boyfriend now. He said, bro, we don't want you no more. Bro, we don't need you no more. Because we already you couldn't win your second term. So we told you something. We don't want you in no more. You done served out your time here. Whatever you sell it to us, we don't want it.
Woo, boy. Perfect analogy.
Perfect analogy, man. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Perfect analogy, bro. We don't want you no more.
We don't want you no more.
We quit you 4 years ago.
Yeah. Your girlfriend don't want you no more. She's telling you you need to go away. Find you something else to do.
Stop stalking me. Stop stalking me. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the police on you. And the police already gave you a felon.
Oh my goodness.
Man. He don't get the picture, man.
Oh my God.
He don't get it.
He don't get it. He don't get it. He hasn't gotten it. And then to have a President Obama to get up there and say he don't know what's going on with him. And he repeated that word again. Yeah, weird. He's all upset about a crowd size. They got a bigger crowd than I got. What's going on, man? You heard about a crowd size? And then after they said that, they got a video on YouTube and showing J.D. Vance. He came back to Wisconsin. He up there in Madison doing a campaign stop. And they had 60 people out there waiting on that rascal. 60 people was standing out there. They said it was 100. They said they were being kind to him. There was 100 people. But they had people with cameras scanning the audience. And most of them were counted. They said 60 people out there waiting on the vice presidential nominee for the Republican Party in Madison, Wisconsin. Second to the largest city in the state of Wisconsin. That's all they could give him. Well, I don't know, but that stuff is telling, Ted. I'm telling you, man, it's telling. I don't. Maybe Trump right. You got to look at the crowd size and determine if you're gonna win or lose. Oh man, I am. Come on, Sherman. I want you on here, brother. I want you to explain to me why there's 60 people in Wisconsin for your vice presidential candidate. Oh man. This is too much, Ted. I'm enjoying myself here on this show. But I wanna contact my boy. That's my brother. I don't care what happened. I don't care. He say he MAGA. Okay, brother, you MAGA, but you still my brother. You know, we come from a we don't give up our childhood friends like that. We don't. You know, he might be a
No, no.
little confused, but maybe we can enlighten him. I don't know. I'm hopeful.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
I think we
But
can, Ted. I
the
think we
thing
can, man.
is,
I'm being hopeful.
well, that's good. The thing is, though, for you to be enlightened, people that's enlightened, you have to dig and research. Some people vote because, hey, Democrats, okay, that's who I'm voting for. That's it. But if you look at the issues, if you look at the circumstances, you look at the data, you look at all the different news articles and those types of things, you got to go with the Democrats, bro.
You're gonna go, Ted, with people who want you. Ain't nowhere in the world. If somebody don't want me, I'm gonna go over there and be with them.
Yeah.
And they have the Democratic Party so far had wanted us to be there. And if somebody wants you to be there, those are the people that you want to be with. I don't want to be with nobody who don't want me, who gonna look down upon me. And it's not only Trump; it's all of those Republicans. They look down on people of color. They look down upon them, and I can't tolerate that. They just turn me off. And why do we see 10, 15% of the black men deciding that they want to follow someone like Trump? I don't know. Maybe they just enjoy being destructive and everything toward him. They like him because he wants to beat up on women or denigrate them. Maybe that's what they like. I don't know. I'm kind of curious here. That's why I'm gonna try my best to get my brother Sherman and stuff on to the show.
Well,
So
if you look at Trump's history, he's a user,
hmm
he's an opportunist.
he's an opportunist, and he's
If
out there for himself
if
to fill
someone
his pocketbook, not
if
yours.
someone is famous, and there were a lot of people famous in the 80s and 90s that he didn't cater up to, but he felt to hang with them for a minute, not in his life, but take pictures with them, hang with them, go out to lunch or go to a function. And there's hundreds of pictures of him standing by a black person who is famous, taking pictures with him. They got a picture of Oprah Winfrey hugging all on
Mm-hmm.
him, and on and on. I can name a bunch of them. But the bottom line was he was just using them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Because Oprah Winfrey is a crossover, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson crossover. Those people were iconic. They're iconic. Everybody loves Michael Jackson. Majority did. All over the world. Oprah, Mike Tyson, and on and on. So he was using them to get more credibility, to get more fame.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got that TV show, that made him really even more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was looking at his historic economics, and he owns 3 high-rise buildings. Now they say 10 because his name is on some of them. Some people took their name off of them, but they use his name as a, and they lease, because a lot of those buildings he don't even own.
Mm-hmm. They are he's licensing his name
Right,
to different venues and everything.
right,
Just like down here in Atlanta, Mercedes Benz has their name on the Atlanta Falcons stadium where they play football at. And Trump does the same thing. They're using he's licensing his name, so they pay him to put his name on those buildings because, like you just said, he was trying to be friends with Oprah Winfrey and everything. Oprah is a very powerful individual, so hey, she goes grab him and everything and say, hey, all right, Donald, and everything. Hey, man, hey, how you doing and everything, hoping that whatever, because it gives her credence and everything because she has him and stuff there and stuff with her and everything. And I'm pretty sure that he wanted that to happen more than she wanted it to happen. But being a being a big celebrity and everything, big celebrities hug a lot of people.
yeah.
They celebrities. They hug a lot of people. Hey, how you doing? My friend. Hey, yeah, how you doing?
Let's get a picture.
Yeah, let's get a picture and take a picture with them. And I've taken pictures with folks and stuff, but hey, they celebrities and stuff and everything. I just want to be a picture with them. Hey, but it's uh it's like Obama in his speech was saying. He spoke for over 30 some minutes, and he touched upon a whole lot of things. But one thing that he touched upon and stuff that I kind of kept in my mind was the fact that we're not alone in this big scenario. This country is not alone. I don't care where we sit at as far as our educational thing or whatever. People in other countries look up to us. And right now, that spotlight is sitting on this country. And these countries are wondering and they're sitting there on pins and needles and stuff. And like you said, and see if we can pull this election off or not, or if the evil side is going to win and take over this country. If the evil side takes over this country, the world out there is going to be looking at us in a whole new different light because you remember the last time that Trump was in office and stuff, he tried to destroy NATO. He tried to destroy them. He just couldn't do it. But he tried his damnedest to do it. And I'm pretty sure if he gets back in it this time, they can forget it because they can't take another thing about what Trump did to them. He took money and stuff from them, everything, and he weakened NATO. And when he weakened NATO, he gave power to our enemy, and that was Russia. Because most of those countries look for us to protect them from the big bad boys, Russia and China. As long as we're sitting out there, we are their protector from all the evil going on out there. But Trump, when he got in office, they couldn't depend upon him to protect them. No way. So it's a very, very important election, people. Very, very, very important. And not only the folks in this country, but there's folks all over this world and stuff who are looking at what's going on here, and they're wondering what's going to happen. So I think we can pull this off. But like Obama said, vote. Don't boo, vote.
Right.
So anyway, that's my take and stuff. I guess still on what's going on out there with this election, and I'm hoping that everybody else out there understands this, and we can do some real important things, because there's a lot of things and stuff that Hakeem was talking about that we need to protect. We need to protect our voting rights. We need to protect ourselves from the Supreme Court justices. We need to protect ourselves from these tax cuts and stuff that Trump said he wanted to continue to enact. We have to protect ourselves, because there's no way and stuff that we can continue on this path that we're going on and be able to survive as a country, because Trump doesn't care. As long as he's putting money in his pocket and his children's pocket, whatever happened with the rest of these folks and stuff, hey, that's on them. And you know that he will let you down. Ask Giuliani. His, he bought old Giuliani. And Giuliani followed him to the gates of hell. And now he, he done lost everything. He got to give his house up. He he done gave, they took
Oh,
his license, his license and stuff from him. He can't even practice law. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. And he drove down there and begged Trump to give him some money. And Trump kicked him out. So you see what he does with the people that he just using. He don't care. Oh my goodness. I
Well,
see.
the only thing I can say is that when people connect to him, we see what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have went to jail because, you know, you got Steve Bannon right now in jail.
Mm-hmm.
You got a number of people, Madoff, jail. The one thing that here's the thing that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the media. I'm looking at the law through the years that this man has broken. He wrote off $1 billion. When he was young, his dad used to funnel money to him. Never paid taxes on it. So, is this a government thing? Is he an agent? Is he? Because see, I'm gonna tell you. You know how many books have been written about Trump? Well over 1,000 books.
Mm.
You know how much money they're making off of Trump? Because people got ball eyes. They want to hear what he got to say back, especially 4, 5, 6 years ago, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's a money maker, bro, for other people because he has the guts or the freedom to do what he wants to do. He's a billionaire who's not ashamed. You can't shame him. You know, if I would have been caught messing around with my wife with a porn star and it was all over the news, I would be so embarrassed I'd go hide myself. If I was a person who had a nonprofit organization and spent my money spent that money that I collected for a nonprofit, I would have been embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he paid a fine.
Created a college, university, and scammed the students.
And paid a fine.
Scam the students. Man, he's a scoundrel. Uh,
Well, saying this he's a scoundrel is like an understatement. That right there that's an understatement because there's no way that that man should not be in jail right now for the things that he has done against this country. To me, this is a moneymaker for millions of people, for thousands of people. Because other than that, we're a boring country, bro.
mm-hmm.
Think about it. I can remember, you know, very seldom, the only person that was really popular was JFK. And that's because they kept on talking about how good he looked and his wife was so beautiful and so classy. It was like royalty, you know. And, the politicians did their thing. They voted for certain things and all of that. And people weren't really paying a whole lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's $1 trillion business, bro. Politics is $1 trillion business. All the ads that these advertisers are making, the radio stations, the conservative radio stations, I should say, not the liberals, because there's no liberal radio station around but a few. They making money. This is
It
a
has.
money maker.
Yeah,
And they
it
trying to
has.
figure out right now, if this woman wins, how they gonna keep eyeballs on TV? How they gonna make their money? Is Trump gonna go away? Because I'm gonna tell you, when I listen to these morning shows, first thing come out their mouth is Trump. They ain't talking about the Democrats. What Trump doing? What did he say? They bring up his tweets and everything. The bottom line is, bro, we Americans are being bamboozled.
Yeah.
We've been hooked and synced because they think, you got these people that's on his side. They got that cult going on. Trump can't do no wrong because everybody knows the man is a crook. You got even religious people talking about he's like some famous person in the Bible. And they use abortion as a wedge issue. They don't have that no more. Now they're using uh, illegals, so-called illegals, as a wedge issue. What they gonna use, bro? If they fix the border, and they're not gonna never fix the border because people gonna always come in illegally.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna always come in illegal, bro. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the way of the world. People gonna go where they want to go.
There's a lot of money being made from those folks who are bringing those people across their border.
Yes.
Those people are paying those folks and stuff a lot of money to get them across that border. A lot
No,
of
no, no.
money.
When they get here, Ed, they have to pay a lot of money
A lot of
because
money.
they got to pay these lawyers to try to get them to be legal.
And
That's
they
a
are being
money maker.
and they are being ripped off. But you're right, they are paying people to do that. They are sitting around here and and most of them and I know that there's a lot of them and stuff here, but they are afraid that one day that they're going to be thrown out of this country. So and they've got even in their own communities and stuff, they have people who are scamming these folks and stuff and everything and taking their money. They got these grocery
They
stores
working 2 and 3 jobs,
that are
brother.
sitting there, and they got these little bitty money they're making. They bring that money to the grocery store and they charging them what they want to charge them. And when they try to send money back to their families and everything, they're charging them some exorbitant costs and everything to send their money back to their people. So they're being ripped off all in every corner, but they still manage to stay here and they still manage to do what they wanted to get into this country, because whatever they can send back to their people and whatever they can make, they're very, very appreciative
And that's
of what they
what is the reason why? Is because we have a capitalist socialist country.
society.
Because if you work for, we have many kinds of jobs, service jobs, a lot of service jobs.
I'm gonna say something and stuff here, Ted. I heard what you said about the news media and stuff always putting that spotlight there on Trump. Now, a couple of years ago, I was thinking the same thing that you were talking. Why they got to keep on putting this man on here? Why they got to keep on doing that? But I'm looking at two things that we have to do. You have to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Second, if you don't keep your eyeballs on that scoundrel, on that rascal, he gonna try to pull some off. And the more people are looking at him, the less likely he is to pull some mess and stuff out there. Because I guarantee you, he ain't going down. If he lose the election for any kind of way, lose the election, he ain't going down without a fight. He's not going down without a fight. He's already
Oh, he
setting
got
up.
people and he got people
He,
waiting.
he's already setting up for the fact that he's going to lose and everything. So he's getting these people out there to do everything that they can to discredit this election. They're sitting there. So even if Kamala does win, we're still going to have to watch out to see what the heck they get ready to pull off, because anybody who did what he did on January 6th, 2021, you got to watch that rascal. You got to keep your eyes and stuff on him, because you don't know what he got up his sleeve, because he is not going to give up without a fight. He's not. So get ready. Yes, we need to vote. Yes, we need to get out there. But yes, we need to be aware and stuff that this man will try anything to get back in power. And what he's planning on doing and what he got to be doing, you have to keep that Negro in the spotlight. You got to
And
keep him in the spotlight.
here's the thing: you have billionaires right now that's funneling money to all of these NOGs,
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit organizations, non-government organizations, and groups of people are willing to do whatever it takes because they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they've been being paid for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, you saw. I'm sure. Hopefully, by this time, you saw Bad Faith, and
Yes, I
they
did.
think they are the people of God,
That's it. They think God
and
has led them. They think the Lord has led them to do this, and they willing
and
to do
then you have
anything.
the other groups. So that's the thing. So a lot of people sitting up here, oh, we happy, we joyful, all that's wonderful, and all of that. And Mrs. Miss Kamala, the VP, has some great ideas and some things that she wants to do. The Democrats have something they want to do, and to help the American people. But you got 20 million people strong, diehard Trump followers.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna have to keep our eyes on them and what the heck they're doing, and we can't lose sight of that. Along, and it's a horrible shame, Ted, that we cannot depend upon that ballot box to decide who's going to lead this country. It's a horrible shame that we have to continue to look at our backs and stuff and everything and see who's sitting there ready to stab us in the back. And still, there are election deniers who still think that Trump should have won in 2020. He's got them. They still think that the election was stolen from Trump. Even today, almost 4 years later, you all stole the election from Trump. He should have won. And those are those diehard crazy folks out there that you got to keep your eyes on.
And most of them living off the government.
Yes, they are. You got to keep your eyes on them because after 4 years, you would have thought that they would have just said, hey, well, yeah, well, maybe. Nope. Ain't nothing, it's not I'm saying no maybe. You can't tell them that Trump wasn't cheated out of this election. So what they're going to try to do now is that if they try to cheat him again, we are going to do something and we're going to destroy this daggone country if we can't do anything. And so we think that the Civil War in 1860 was bad. We don't know what the heck these folks going to try now. Be aware, people. Ted, what's your last word? We got coming to the end.
Well, you just said it, bro. Be aware.
Be aware. Okay, people. It was nice talking to you guys. We'll see you guys and stuff on Tuesday because I'm enjoying myself. And I'm going to try to get my buddy over here, my friend, on this show on Tuesday. I'm going to come hell or high water. I'm going to try to get him on this show and get him ready. Now, he may be sitting out there saying, yep, I want to join your show. But we done gave him time. We gave him everything we need to do. But he hadn't showed up. So I'm going to find out if he's just sitting over there like a little old fox or a little old scared rabbit and went back down into the rabbit hole.
Just stop it. Stop it. We got to be civil, bro. We gotta be civil.
Okay. I'm not going to say that. Hopefully that's what happens. But he has an out, and I'm going to give him an out. I'm going to call him up, personally call him up and say, man, I'm sorry. I gave you the 7 o'clock time, and I thought you were, I didn't realize that you were on Mountain Time. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna give him my apologies. I'm gonna be the first one to apologize. See you people on Tuesday. Bye-bye.